Yes, I am fresh from the shower. So welcome to the video. I am doing an update on my HRCYED, which is the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. And I decided, since I was doing monthly updates on it, and you'll see that we're slowing down quite a bit because almost everything is done, that when we do these check-ins, I'm going to choose one or maybe two categories to have as my priority for the next month before I check in the next time, so that I can try to purposefully finish something each time. So let me show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm covering up the percentage for right now just because I want to talk through some stuff first. So the only ones that are completely finished are the ones that are this green color. So I've gotten 4 things finished. I'm so close on some other things. So let's look at that first, and then I need to mark off the things that I've finished. So in the A to Z challenge, I still have I, O, Q, X, and Z. I did read Proven Guilty, which is one of the Jim Butcher novels. And so P is finished. I have I, O, Q, X, and Z. That's 5 books. I'm probably not going to be able to read 5 books for this. So what I'm going to do is look at the TBR that I already have picked coming up and see if I can eliminate at least one of these each month. That's my plan. Like going forward, I want to get rid of these over the next 5 months, be finished with my ABCs. If something comes up before then, that's totally fine as well. I'm not going to be stressed out about it, but if we can do one a month and at least finish in 5 months, that'll be good. Okay, the 3 or more blurbs on a book. I have read the book and I've read 2 of the blurbs. The other blurber, the other person who had a blurb was Casey McQuiston. And also there was another one, Farah somebody, and y'all shared with me that she has a series with some really good books on it. So right now I am planning One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, but it's not on a TBR yet. So if I read Farah's book before I read Casey McQuiston's, they both count because they're both blurbed on Yours Truly. Then we have the garage sale books, which is still empty. I still don't have them. 5 AuthorTuber books. I've actually read none of these yet, but I do have them. I have my list that I'm working off of who I'm going to read. The 4-book series, Etiquette and Espionage, is still the only one I've read. I've got to read book 2, but there are 7 books, so I don't want to commit to reading 6 books in 1 month. So I'll focus on those maybe later. The 5 books from 5 small booktubers, I have finished one and I'm reading one right now, but I'm not going to put them in here until I do all of them because I'm making it into a video. So I have finished one and I am on another though. 5 books in other countries or authors from other countries. So I have a list right here on my notebook. That's a pretty long list. These are books that I have read that have not fit anywhere. Some of them did, and I marked them off, but otherwise they have not fit anywhere. And so I need to research and see where the authors are from and pay more attention to where some of these are set, because I might have some that actually fit this and I just don't know it yet. So that might be shifting a little bit in the next one. We'll see. The Queer Rainbow, I was able to do the buy for Starling House and questioning for the Charm Offensive, which was such a good book. I really liked it. So I'm still planning these 2 books for these last 2. I just need a trans book to be put on my list, which I don't have right now. The 5 lowest rated books on my TBR, on my Goodreads, I do have that list of them, but I haven't read them yet either. Then Direct from an Indie Author is still Q's book. Y'all, every time I pick it up, I like it, but I cannot force myself to sit down and read a book. It's got nothing to do with the book. It is me not being able to read. Same thing I say every time. My local indie book is Sympathy for the Devil, which I also have in my list. I only have 2 letters left in my name. It's O and I, which those are 2 letters that I have left in the alphabet. So those 2 O's and I's are going to be my priority that I'm going to be looking for. And maybe I can find 2 O books or 2 I books, but whatever. I want to finish my name. That's going to be my goal, is to finish my name before I do another checkup. That's only 2 books that I have to read. 3 if I add in the ABC book that I want to read. 5 SPIFBO non-finalists. I talked about those in my book haul, the last book haul I did. So I have those already in my possession. I just have to read them. The completed webcomic, somebody else shared another one with me. So I know I spun the wheel to pick the webcomic, but I really want to be able to read it in person, like in my hand. And so she said that her daughter had been requesting this one that she read on webcomics, and then she wanted a full copy of it. So she had bought that for her daughter. So I think I might be planning to do that so that I can have it in my hands. Then we have the books that come out every month. September, I read Somewhere Beyond the Sea. And October, I read Parthenogenesis, which is a novella from Stephen Graham Jones, who I love. And I didn't know that he had a book coming out, but he did. And I got it on October 3rd, and I read it on October 4th. So that is all done, and I'm caught up. So I think what we'll do today is we will pick the November book that I'm going to be doing. And then that'll also be, so that's 4 books that I'm planning to read. An O, an I, one of the alphabet letters, and my November book is what I'm planning to read before I do my next update. That's not true, because I might not read the November book until later in the month of November, but it's on my list. 3 books in 24 hours. I haven't decided what they're going to be yet, but I just need to pick them and do it. A crowdfunded book I paid for. I'm still waiting on The Sunlit Man. I'm not waiting on it. I'm waiting to read it. And then we finished a white cover, which was The Utterly Uninteresting and Unadventurous Tales of Fred the Vampire Accountant. That is a long title, and I decided to just write Fred the Vampire Accountant on the thing. It was so cute. And I do have a pink cover, which is the reunion. That's what I was going to use for it. But if I've got another book that's pink that's coming up already on my list, then I'm going to account that one as well. And then finally, summer, fall, winter, and spring. It is fall here. So I have started my fall book, but I have not finished it yet. So it's called Autumn. It's the only one that has a different name from its season. But that's it. I'm going to be caught up with that by the end of fall, and I will be adding that in there when winter starts. So, the classic and the adaptation. I have not done that either. I have a couple of options. I still have Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, and honestly, I started reading Pride and Prejudice, like the original, and I got about halfway through, and I was like, I do not care. Like, I really do not care. So, what I'm thinking I might do, if you saw my giant Q4 thing, I got Dunbar, which is a retelling of King Lear, and I never read King Lear. So I think what I'm going to do is read King Lear and Dunbar, and that's going to be my classic and my adaptation. We'll see. But that right now is my plan, because Pride and Prejudice, I just don't care. Like, I'm sorry. I know it's y'all's favorite. So many people love it. I don't care. So that's it. Now, I have read 83 out of the 149 books prompts. And so my total is 55.7%. It only went up by like 2% or something like that from where I was last time. So it's going to be going up slower, like I said, but I want to get more things finished. So let's go look at what's coming out in November that I want to read. Okay, I decided to go with romance because romance is almost always something that I can just pick up and read no matter what else is going on. Like, if I've got to be focused and in a fantasy, I have to be in the right headspace. The same thing with if I'm doing a horror book, but a lot of times cozy mysteries and romance, I can just pick up and read no matter what is happening. So I decided to do a Google search for November 2024 romance releases. So I'm going to go through here, see which ones are not like the end of a series, and give me some ideas. Okay, I don't even need to keep going because The Mirror, I thought came out in October, and it comes out in November. And this is, I've already read the first one, the Lost Bride Trilogy Part 1, and I didn't realize that it was like a newer release. So I'm ready for the second book to come out. So here we go. Book 2. This is what I'm going to read. I want to read Nora Roberts' The Mirror. I had picked a few other things, but I just didn't realize. Let me get this ready. I thought that it came out in October and I wanted to read the Stephen Graham Jones over The Mirror. But now that I know, it comes out now. Also, this in February is her In Death book that's coming out next. And so I have that marked as my February pick. Okay, so The Mirror is on here and ready to go. Let me go look for IO books on my list. Okay, on my extra 50 before 50, I have an impossible imposter, which is the I. So there's one I, no O's on here at all. Okay, I have I can make this promise, which is an I. And that is all. Now, if I go to my want to read list and I look at authors, put them in alphabetical order, I should be somewhere in the middle. I should be able to find the O's. Okay, I don't have a ton of O's, but I do have some. So I've got O'Farrell, O'Keefe, O'Leary, Oda, the person who wrote One Piece, Onuzo, Onyebuchi, a couple of those, actually 3 of those, and then Owen, Abigail Owen, The Games Gods Play. So the reunion, which I wanted to read for a pink cover, so I can't count that as an O, unless I find something else that's pink. I've been wanting to read Son of the Storm so badly because I love this cover, but I don't know what I'm going to do with that one. This one also I would like to count as a outside the US UK because it is set in a world inspired by the pre-colonial empires of West Africa. I'm assuming, or I'm hoping that I can count that. Let's see about the author. He's a Nigerian author, so there we go. I just love the cover of this. So, I don't know. I did also just got the first 3 volumes of One Piece, so I might read that. There's quite a few of these that I really want to read. But at least I know now where my O's are, that I can come over and find people who are named with O. If I was doing it for titles, let's see if I have any O titles. I've got Out There, Out of My Mind, Our Hideous Progeny, The Other Man, The Orphan's Tale, Ordinary Grace, Open and Unafraid, Una, Out of Order, Onyeki and the Academy of the Sun, The Only One Left. I've already read that one, so that one needs to be moved. Only Forward, The Ones We're Meant to Find, 1,000 White Women, One Piece, One of Us is Lying, One of the Good Ones, I have a lot of ones and onces. So there's a lot of those. I just need to read them. I did not realize how many I had that started with an O. So we should be fine with the O's. So I'm going to read I Can Make This Promise and Impossible Imposter for sure. And then I'm going to try to add a couple of these O books onto the list as well. But at least if I read the I and the O, my name is finished. And that is my goal for the next time, is to have my name finished. And that will get us one more, the one right in the middle. So still not a bingo, but that's okay. I'm not as worried about that because I'm going to black out the whole board. So I'm not so worried about getting bingos. But anyway, that is it. I didn't move the percentage up much, but I did read a lot of books and I was able to fit some of them in. So let me know how it's going for you, your reading challenge, and what are you having the hardest time finding or the hardest time completing. That is going to do it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.